I'm Chuck Rutt, this is my wife Judy, and we're here to talk about the house we've been building for the last 6 years. I don't know, Judy used to be an interior decorator, so she's got a lot of knowledge that way when it comes time for that part.
Yeah, looking forward to that part, but we're a ways from that yet.
Yeah. We started this journey quite a while ago. We designed the house ourselves, and on the computer screen it was real easy to, you've got this drawing of this house and think, oh, it'd be nice if the master bedroom was a little bigger, or if the mudroom was a little bigger, or so it was really easy to make it bigger than it should have been on the computer screen. And then when we got started building these basement walls here out of these styrofoam blocks, it's ICF, they were made by Fox blocks. And we got started building these, and we're standing in the middle of all this, and we're looking from this end to that end, and like, holy crap, what did we get ourselves into? But like the expression says, the baby's born, you can't put it back now. So we're continuing along. We've had a few interruptions along the way. Life happens.
Yep. I had cancer a couple of times, lung cancer.
Yeah.
That held us up for 3 years.
Well, yeah, altogether, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was 2 different types of lung cancer. We had worked on the house for a little over a year, and Judy got diagnosed with lung cancer in her right lung. You have 3 lobes on the right side. They had removed the center lobe on the right side, and then do CT scans every 6 months. No chemo or anything like that first time around.
3 months.
Every 3 months, every 3 months. And then after they went for about a year and a half doing CT scans every 3 months, they said, okay, everything still looks great, we'll switch to 6 months. And the first 6-month checkup came in, and they found a golf ball sized tumor in the upper lobe of her right lung. And you only have 2 lobes over here, a small one on the bottom and a great big one on top. So they had to remove that great big section of lung on the left-hand side. And both times it brought us to a complete halt on the house. Everything just sat. We had more important things to take care of.
Yeah, I had to have chemo that time. But
Yeah.
So it took a little longer, but
Yeah.
it took me longer to recoup,
Yeah.
get my strength back. But
Yeah.
I'm doing good now.
So, I mean, one of the things people will notice, later on we'll talk more about it, but we started a YouTube channel, and in the beginning videos, we haven't shown any of them yet, but when we get ready to show the videos that we started with, she has long dark hair, and now she has short silver hair, because the chemo in her hair fell out, and she's allergic to hair dye, and can't dye it, so it's short and silver now. But part of our life story.
So why the build? Why even start?
We used to live on Pine Lake, which is 11 or 12 miles from here. Had lakefront property. We loved it, but the houses were all very close together with no room to park, and on holiday weekends, everybody was crammed in and nobody had room to turn their car around. We wanted acreage, and one of the big reasons we wanted acreage is because I used to have an old Bell 47 helicopter like on MASH, the bubble type. And I had to start at somebody else's pole barn and go over to their pole barn and roll it out and fly around and put it back in and we'll go back home. And I wanted a place where I could land and take off my own property, and we got to looking for acreage. And we searched for a couple of years before we found this acreage, and we just feel so blessed to have it. It's 35 acres, it's a beautiful piece of property. We've got trails all over the place.
We owned the property for 18 years.
Yeah, we've been here for 18 years now. We planned on building a lot sooner, but then the economy got bad. My business partner and I had a sheet metal shop, and we went without a lot of paychecks for quite a while, and we'd draw one every once in a while, but we went without a lot of them, and it just made it impossible to build at the time. Well, then we got retired and decided it's time to start. So we started building, and things would have went a lot faster, a lot smoother. And I'm not going to say it's all the cancer's fault, but it did hold us up near the beginning of it, and that it made a difference. And then, like I said, come wintertime, we didn't have far enough to walk where we could work in and out of the weather, and we're old, and fingers don't want to work good in the cold. But it's come along. It's been a fun journey. One thing we found out is everybody always says, when's it going to be done? When are you going to move in? What's your completion date? And at first we would tell them probably about this time, probably about that time. And we kept falling short because of one thing or another. A lot of things entered into it. Later on, COVID entered into it, which made the prices skyrocket and materials hard to get. But anyway, we got to the point to where instead of telling people when it would be done, we just we work on it all day long, and when we get done at the end of the day, we'll sit down in a couple of chairs. I remember sitting up here quite often before we had the main floor of the house on. We just had the basement. We put the floor up there, even when we just had part of the floor up there. We'd have a couple of plastic chairs, and we would sit there and we would have either a glass of lemonade together or a cold beer together, and we would look at what we got done for the day and say, that's really nice. We don't have to do that part tomorrow. What are we gonna work on tomorrow? And we would celebrate each day like that, and we felt like we were getting to win every day instead of being disappointed every time we fell short of our goals. And it's worked out well for us.
Yep.
That's amazing. So you said it's been a really fun adventure. Tell me a story or a few stories. What's made it fun?
Oh, geez. We ended up buying some equipment so that we could do this ourselves mostly. We bought this big old telehandler, and
It's
so
fun. I learned how to run that.
yeah. So when I have to work up high, Judy has to run the telehandler and run me up to the bucket and everything, and that was fun in itself. Being up in the air, knowing she's on the controls. You don't want to make her mad or anything, you know. She goes, "Oops, sorry," but that was fun, really. Her learning how to do all that and everything, learning how to run the telehandler and raise me up to do stuff like that. And there's once or twice where just a slight slip, something moved a little bit different than that. Like, for one thing, when the boom is all the way stretched out, any little movement is exaggerated out at the end of that arm. If in here it would have been this much movement, out there it's this much movement. But she got used to that real fast. But there was just a couple times at the beginning that it moved more than I was expecting, you know, and it kind of gets your heart a little bit, you know. And she goes, "I'm sorry, I didn't." But, you know, it's just fun things like that. And, we just,
You laugh when it's over.
yeah. Yeah.
More rewarding, I think, than fun, you know, for me, instead of being fun, but like he said, you know, just seeing what you accomplished, what it's come, you know, where we're at today. I mean, and it ended up being 3 times bigger than what we really planned on building. But just the rewards of your work every day.
Yeah, walking through the house and seeing things. And then like I said, we bought that telehandler. And then we bought a sawmill about 4 years ago. And it's what they call a super wide. It's made by Cooks down in Alabama. And I can cut logs up to 52 inches wide and 30 feet long. So, you know, I mean, if anybody needs long barn beams or slabs for countertops or something like that, I can do those. And it has been fun. We've cut cherry slabs for our stairway going from the basement up to the main floor. And we're going to do another natural stairway going from the main floor up to the loft area. And that stairway from the main floor up to the loft, right now what we're planning on is a great big log for the center stringer. And it's going to run from the main floor up to the loft and cut notches in the top of it like this. And I've already got some hickory slabs that are cut 3 inches thick. They're going to be the stair treads. So those are just going to lay on top of the log. It'll be an open stair. We'll have a log railing on the side, and it's going to be really cool up there. You'll be able to walk in the front door and see the log stairway and the stone fireplace and everything. It's going to be cool.
So you guys do all of this together. Tell me
Yes.
a little bit about your relationship and what it's like as a couple building a home.
Well, we both worked a lot of hours before we retired. I mean, we worked 6 days a week a lot. And when I had my own business, I had to be at my store all the time. And then I went into actually trucking and greenhouse business from there, and worked a lot of long days, 10 o'clock at night, 6 days a week. So we would meet or come home and have supper and visit for a couple hours, go to bed, get up and do it all over again. Then we retired and we're together
24/7 pretty much. That was an adjustment.
So yeah, that was a little, that right there will test your marriage.
But I guess it's sort of like if a couple can canoe together or hang wallpaper together, you know, both those things, you know, you're not pedaling on the right side, or you're not, we wallpapered a ceiling in our house on Pine Lake. If you can do that, you can do this, you know. I mean, there's times when we're doing things and we have little differences of opinion on how something might be done. We're down here in the basement right now, and she told me I can pretty much fix the basement up the way I want to, and she's gonna take care of the main floor and loft and everything. But we enjoy it enough where we talk about different things, and we still even though she said I can do it my way down here, I still get input from her all the time. I appreciate her input. Like I said, she was an interior decorator for a while, had a decorating store and everything a few years back, and it's valuable information and, you know, good. We enjoy working together. We're not only husband and wife, but we're best friends, so works out well.
Yeah, 42 years.
Plus, yeah,
Little.
yeah.
But-
Well, married for a little over 40 and together for 42. We were together for a couple of years before that. My cousin Steve's wife, Joyce, and Judy grew up together since they were about 12 years old, and she set us up on a blind date. And the rest is history. I tell her it's her fault. I tell Joyce that all the time. It's your fault. This worked out well.
So retirement. This is your retirement. You are building a house for your retirement. Explain what retirement is and why you say I enjoy working.
Well, like she said, it's nice to see the rewards of your work. If I'm just working on wiring or something like that, which I've been doing the last couple of days, you don't get to see it much. But when you're doing something like building this hearth, putting the wood stove in, we're going to put some corrugated metal around here. It's going to look really cool. Things like that show up. Really, it's rewarding. But like she said, we both worked a lot of long hours when we were in the work world. So now we're basically still working a lot of hours here. We're retired, but not so much. And shameless plug, I guess that's why we called our YouTube channel Not So Retired with Chuck and Judy. But anyway, because
Yeah.
we're not so retired, so we're working on this thing every day. So it works out well though.
Yeah, I think the physical work though is keeping us younger.
Yeah,
You know, physically, it's keeping us in better shape. A lot of people retire and
sitting in the lounge
Sit-
chair all day. And,
yeah, and start having health problems. So
yeah. I mean,
yeah,
that's,
and we do stuff on the side. I garden. I love to garden. We do that. You know, I do that on the side. He has a sawmill, which he's cut stuff for the house. He cuts stuff for other people, but he really enjoys it. It's a
Yeah.
hobby for him.
enjoy
so.
making unique stuff out of the wood that comes off of it. I made her a nice wine rack and a few other things.
Yeah, we take time to spend time with family and friends and do fun stuff too. So
What is I know you talked a little bit about why you moved here, right?
Mhm.
But what is the vision for this home, for the home?
Mostly, it's big enough to where we can have family and friends over on holidays or Super Bowl or, we have a dream of having a lot of friends over at Christmas. Now at Pine Lake, our house wasn't this big, but she used to put on a thing on Christmas where it was so hard to get all the family members there at one time for a dinner. So what she would do is she would put on a all day long buffet and just say, you can start coming anytime after 10 o'clock or whatever and stay as long as you can put up with us. And she'd start out with like quiches and breakfast type foods in the mornings, and I'd gradually switch. Yeah, it would gradually start switching as the day went on to more lunchtime, and then dinner time later with ham and sweet potatoes and everything, And it would people would come and stay as long as they wanted to and come and go, and some of the neighbors that we're real close with. And
we would have anywhere from 25, 30 people during the day coming and going, and kids and grandkids
and neighbors and family,
and-
cousins and stuff. And
so it was fun. So
Yeah.
hopefully we can do that again here.
yeah, only now we'll have more room for it. So.
Yeah.
Nice. I love that. That is so cool. That's like really
Yeah.
cool. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Plus, gotta have room for all the dogs.
Why? Maybe not why, but tell me about like doing the majority of this yourself, where you're not really hiring out
Okay,
many contractors,
okay.
and
Okay, we added a dream. Like I said, we drew up the floor plans ourselves. I had some architectural classes back in school, and Judy's had a lot of design classes and stuff too. So we drew the plans up ourselves, and bigger than what we started, what we planned on. And then there was another change that happened after talking to the truss people. Had to smooth out some of the outside edges, which actually, when we did that, we ended up gaining square footage. Anyway, so we drew it up ourselves, and then we wanted to do as much of it ourselves as possible, but we planned on hiring certain things done, subcontracting certain things out. After COVID hit and material prices went up, we ended up deciding we needed to do almost everything ourselves because we had to spend so much on material. But I actually started to dig the basement here myself. I have a mini excavator, but this thing is huge. So I started digging, I worked on it for 8 hours and realized that it was gonna take me all summer to dig this basement. So I called a friend of mine that has an excavating company and a really big excavator and a bulldozer and stuff like that. And he came over and had it dug in 3 days. So it would have taken me 3 months. But we started doing that ourselves, and then we hired a guy that pours these styrofoam walls, and he came in and started. We had the basic layout done, but he came in and started laying out footings. Started to do some of the footings. He did part of the footings, and we took over and did the last of the footings ourselves.
Yeah.
Once we see how something's done, and we're fussy about how we do things. We do it good. We're not gonna be as fast as the pros, but we do it good. And so we took over on that, and we set these blocks. The guy that was gonna set the blocks for us and cut all the holes in was gonna charge $40,000. We did that ourselves.
Just
Saved that
like
much.
big Lego blocks. They're easy, very light, easy to work with. Actually,
Yeah.
kind of fun.
Yeah.
That was kind of the fun, because they go together so easy, and you can see right away what
You start seeing
you know.
walls go up and getting a real physical feeling of what it's gonna be like, So we did that, and you put re-rod in them, vertical and horizontal and everything like that, and you brace everything so it holds up when you put the concrete in there, because it had a lot of hydraulic pressure on concrete. So we did that, did the styrofoam, and then we decided we needed to buy the telehandler so that we could do a lot more of the work ourselves. We found a used telehandler. The bank said it was worth 10 grand more than we paid for it. So we've done a lot of work with that telehandler. In fact, setting all these floor trusses, I don't know if you can see them up there or not, there's floor trusses up here that are 2 foot tall. We set those. Judy was on a ladder down in here, guiding them down in, and I was in the telehandler, lowering them down in. Part of the time, we had a neighbor over here helping us. He was on one end of the truss, she was on the other end, and I was lowering them down into them, but they had to leave to go to Florida, and then it was just Judy lowering them in all by herself, and we got it done. There was a short period of time when this wall wasn't here when we were doing the first part of the trusses, and you can only reach just so far. We'd get all the different sides. From here, I could reach in and do part of it. But then we had to build this wall to put a beam in here. So we got this wall built. Judy was on the inside on her cell phone. I'm on the outside on my cell phone. And she's saying, okay, you need to go, I'm lowered a beam down. And she's like, okay, you need to go about 1.5 inches to the north and an inch to the east or something like that. And so we're doing all this by cell phone and everything. So we did all that. We compacted the floor in here when it was all dirt. After the footings were in, the walls were going up, we compacted the floor ourselves. We put down our visqueen, we put down the 2-inch styrofoam, and then we put down our own PEX tubing. We laid out where the walls had to be on top of the styrofoam so we know where to avoid and everything like that, because you avoid toilets, you avoid underneath walls and stuff. We laid out all of our PEX tubing, and then we hired an Amish crew come in and pour the concrete. And then we started laying out the walls again and building all these interior walls. And the steel column you see over there, I put that steel column together in our driveway down there and welded it together and everything, put that in actually before the cement was poured, so it's down under the cement on a footing. We did all that, then we continued, put the flooring on top of the floor trusses, and then continue the main walls up, another pour for more concrete, so the walls are concrete all the way from the basement up through the main floor, all the way up to the roof. We did not set the roof trusses, we hired the roof trusses set, hired the same people to put the roof trusses on, put the sheathing on and the tar paper, and then we hired another crew to put the shingles and stuff on. Also installed all the windows ourselves. When it came to the really big windows, we called a few friends. We had 4 or 5 guys come over and help. Put in some 10-foot wide dining room windows, 8-foot slider, 6-foot slider, things like that. Then on from there, we did our own soffit and fascia. Judy would have to lift me up with a telehandler to work up high and put that stuff on. So we've done, I'm gonna say 85% of the work that's been done here, we did ourselves. And just kind of rule of thumb, a lot of people say, when you buy a house, it's roughly half material, half labor kind of thing. So you figure, just round figures, if you had $1 million house, that you only had $600,000 into it, between what you had to pay a couple of contractors and do yourself, and that'd be really worth it, So that'd be nice.
That's great. Let me think. Gotta ease back into it. Tell me about work. Like, what is it? What? We talked a little bit up there, but working, and we touched a little bit here, but deciding not to just like go find a house and spend all your free time relaxing versus like working in retirement.
Well,
If we had to do it all over again, we would have built a house about a third of the size.
and we probably would have went with a barn dominium style because it's less dollar per square foot and faster, easier. But it is what it is. We designed it this way, and like I said, we're enjoying the journey. Yes, it would be nice to be in something that's finished, but we both enjoy working on it together. And I think the only, if I was to have any regrets about it, it's right now it would be nice to be able to travel more down to Tennessee and visit my sister who's in a memory care facility, and it's harder to do right now, especially with the dogs and everything, because it would be nice to have Katie with us, and now if we go, Katie stays here to take care of dogs and stuff. But I would really, if there's one regret, that would be that, that it's harder to get away right now. In the future though, it'll get easier as we get more done. So.
What are some lessons that you guys have learned as a couple individually throughout this whole process, and I guess are still learning?
Pick your own battle. Pick your battles. Not pick your own battles. Pick your battles, and what you want to argue about, it doesn't really make a difference. Is it a little thing, a big thing? Don't waste your time arguing about something that's.
Yeah, and any couple's gonna have a few little disagreements here and there, but we work them out. But as far as what we've learned along the way, one thing that you're capable of doing a lot more than you thought you were. We've done a lot more here than we thought we.
Mm-hmm.
You figure out how, whether it be talking to a professional contractor, or which I was involved in the sheet metal trade. I was around a lot of other contractors, seeing how a lot of different kind of things were done. And also, my ex-brother-in-law taught me how to do a lot of construction as far as house building and electrical work and things like that, because he helped us on our place on Pine Lake.
Yeah.
But, it's just what we've learned along the way. You can Google it, you can talk to other professionals, but when we, years ago, you couldn't Google things. But, it's YouTube is amazing. Find stuff on there, show you how to do things. So.
Yeah, we built our house at Pine Lake. We remodeled 2 other houses, his grandma's, and this other little one we were living in that we just sold. So it's like we've been doing it our whole life.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, because we just moved into that place on Pine Lake when we first met, and shortly after we first met, we moved in there, rented it for 2 years, and then bought it, started remodeling it right away. So it's been a lifestyle for us, I guess.
Yeah.
If we had to do all over again, maybe we would start trying to buy some little houses and fix them up and flip them or something. But just wasn't in the cards. We both had jobs that worked a lot of hours. Didn't have time to do that.
Yeah, we played hard when we weren't working.
Yeah, we did. We had a Scarab cigarette boat when we were younger. Actually had one, sold that, got a bigger one, then got rid of that or without for a few years, and then bought that helicopter. And so we have a lot of really good memories. Spent money on things we probably shouldn't have, but we've got memories that we'll always have, so it's all good.
We talked a little bit about building well. Why build this the way you have with such beautiful detail and such integrity?
We want to build it so it'll last. It could be a legacy for us. It could be handed down through the family, or if we decided we did want to do, like you said, just retire and relax, we should be able to sell it for enough profit to where it would give us money to relax on, money to travel or play or whatever we want to do.
Yeah, 35 acres with lake access. So, got a couple of big barns.
2 pole barns, one of them with heated floor.
Be a nice horse ranch.
Yeah, if we ever do sell it, it would be a valuable piece of property.
Nice. what are your passions outside of building your house, even though that is where you spend most of your time? What else do you guys do together?
Well, we used to go up north a lot, snowmobiling, or in the summertime with our side-by-side. We have a Polaris side-by-side, and other friends and family, we just go up there and stay at family cabins and putt around the fire lanes and look for wildlife, deer, porcupines, fox, turkeys, whatever, bear once in a while. And snowmobiling, we used to snowmobile a lot, mostly up in the UP, but also a lot right near Houghton and Higgins Lake area where our family has cabins. So, we used to do a lot of that kind of stuff. Lately though, it's been focused on the house.
Yeah. And then what is, this is kind of a big question, but like, what is your why? I don't know if you're familiar with that question, but like, why do you do it? You know, like why do you do it?
Well, for one thing, I don't want to be one of those guys, like she said a little earlier, that retires and sits in a lounge chair or a recliner chair watching TV all day, and your muscles all atrophy and you end up dying early because you weren't doing anything. You know, this way we're doing something that we're building equity in, so it's good for us financially, I guess.
We've always been big dreamers. I mean, like when we were younger, we wanted a big boat. We worked for it. We had it. We played with it, played hard, and he wanted a helicopter, and we just have always been big dreamers and
Find ways to make it
work
happen.
hard to accomplish what our dreams are.
Sometimes I miss having the big boats, sometimes I miss having the helicopter, but I've got lots of good memories and we do other things.
Now
you
he's
know?
got a lot of big equipment that he likes playing with.
Yeah.
Digging holes.
Mini excavator and telehandler and tractor with a bucket and forks and stuff, and you know, if I have a need for doing something with a motor, I can go out there and, like somebody we used to know said, his wife said, "Why didn't you buy all that equipment?" She said, "What are you gonna do with that excavator?" He says, "I don't know, I might just dig holes and fill them back in." He said, "I want something," he said, "It's something to play with."
So no more helicopter.
No, probably not. I don't see that in my affordability range. So,
Yeah.
No, I miss it, but I took my grandson up flying in it before. I wish I could have taken Katie, but she was a little too young at the time, our granddaughter. But yeah, that would have been nice to take her up in it, so she could have some memories too.
It was fun. We took my brother and sister-in-law. My family lives on the other side of the state. We took our helicopter over there for the weekend for my nephew's birthday. My brother had 4 acres, and we landed there, and he took people for rides, and
Took a bunch of people for rides.
we took it to Mackinac Island. Was up there for
Flew up
3
to
or 4
Mackinac Island,
days.
spent 3 nights on the island, flew back. When I very first got legal to take passengers in it, the first thing I did was tell her we were going out for dinner, and we flew down to Three Rivers and landed beside Applebee's down there and went in for dinner and then flew back home. So that was nice.
And it's, you know, for people that haven't never been to Michigan, Michigan's a beautiful state.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, we snowmobiled in the UP, and we called one time to go to another state snowmobiling, and they're like, "Why do you want to come here? You live in Michigan."
Yeah,
You know, we have the beautiful waters, and
lots of trails. Yeah.
yeah, so.
Perfect.
Hi guys, I'm Chuck,
I'm Judy.
and we are Chuck and Judy from our YouTube channel, Not So Retired with Chuck and Judy. Check it out sometime. We're showing you about building this huge house by ourselves and running a sawmill and some other things around the property.